din, no? Para masuportaran natin sila. Another concerns rin natin dito sa ano yung kalagayan dito, aside from the economic benefits, ito naman yung mga access sa mga government, no, ng mga services. Example, on the climate change, sinasabi ito ni President Bongbong Marcos sa kaniyang SONA about that the Philippines is now in the Loss and Damage Fund. Meron tayong isang kooperatiba, which I'm also part of it sa clients, na naimbento ng produkto ng parametric insurance. No? Ito yung insurance related sa climate change na gumagamit ng outer space na data, no? Using the satellite, which is now being supported project ito ng United Nations. So, ano ba ito sa mga Pilipino? Kung masuportaran natin ito sa government na instead of putting their funds through PCIC alone, through indemnity, bakit hindi ang premium babayaran sa gobyerno? No? Na para naman yung mga after typhoon kasi, may gap tayo doon eh. May gap tayo na tinatawag natin na mga resiliency, how to get back our farmers after the typhoon. Pero, ang PCIC kasi, nandoon pa rin sila sa indemnity side. May science naman na data naman tayo na we're able to pay the claims. Yun ang mga kalagaan na isang cooperative chamber na hindi siya business federation that can connect to the national government na masabi rin natin sa kanila na meron na tayong mga ginagawa. Madugtong-dugtong natin ang mga ginagawa natin sa mga kooperatiba natin because we are part of this nation building also. We are part, lalo na sa mga marginalized sector, na ang mga members ng kooperatiba, no, of the 18,000 cooperative registered cooperatives, na ito talaga ang tawag natin dito, na dito yung I think the 80% na tinatawag doon sa social media station na they rated themselves poor, nandito yan sa sektor ng kooperatiba. At ito itong kooperatiba, ito talaga yung may access sila kasi sila yung may-ari rin dito.
Good afternoon to everybody. Ano lang, I'd like to idagdag ko lang sa sinasabi ni Chairman Noel. And it should be clarified at the outset that this Philippine Chamber of Cooperatives Incorporated is not a cooperative. This is a non-profit organization that would like to champion the cause of cooperativism. And in relation to the question, ano bang makukuha ng tao dito? Well, it's going to be, this is not a walk in the park. Hindi natin kagad ma-quantify ang ano niya, no? But ganito yan eh. Itong chamber na ito, this is formed by cooperative leaders who believe that the cooperative is one of the last few hopes of this country. And why we are saying that, we have evidence to prove that. In 2007, 2008, there was this economic meltdown worldwide. And there was a study conducted that the most resilient sector that easily bounced back after that crisis in the economy worldwide was the cooperative. And the most devastating calamity that struck the world is the COVID-19 pandemic. And in fact, there is a study conducted by CDA. And based on our experience in our respective cooperatives, ay talagang very resilient and very strong ang mga kooperatiba. So, because we believe in cooperativism, with this organization, kasi ano to register tayo ng SEC, nakalatag doon ang ating mga objectives. So at the end of the day, the ultimate goal here is to help the cooperatives in the Philippines para magiging strong siya, para magiging katuwang for nation building. So, as a result, that will be able to help the people. So, that is in addition to the statement of Chairman Raboy vis-a-vis the question Ano bang makukuha ng tao dito?
So, maybe the media is not yet familiar about co-ops. No? Ang stages kasi dyan, when we talk about primary co-ops, the members are people themselves as individuals. When we talk of federation, the members are the primary co-ops, which is an entity as a cooperative, having a juridical personality. Yun ang diferensya. So, lahat mga basic lang. Now, how will the members benefit out of that plan? Of course, the chamber, as the leader of advocacy, will have all the 20,000 cooperatives in the country. And then, it will be passed on to the members of each primary cooperative. As what even had espoused earlier, there will be more than 1 million already of the 307 co-op members of the chamber. There is one question asked earlier also. How are we going to become a member of the co-op? Each co-op has its own bylaws. It is not uniform how you become a member. Because we have the so-called share capital, we have the so-called savings deposit. So, it may not be the same for all cooperatives in the country, depending on the bylaws of the co-op. So, if you apply, there is now a multi-membership. No? Maybe you may become a member up to 3 to 1 co-op. You may become also member to another co-op. And it varies how your contributions or share capital or savings will be. So, yun ang basic natin, okay?
Good morning, sirs and ma'am. Jim Garcia from the Manila Times. Reading your paper here, I noticed on the executive agenda of the chambers, also the legislative agenda, many are inquiries of existing laws. And I also noticed there's a focus on taxation and tariffs. How confident are you that this will be addressed by the present government? And can you just explain to yung mga hinihingi ng co-op regarding this matter?
Yeah. Actually, at present, cooperatives enjoy tax exemption privileges in the Philippines. We're the only Asian country where cooperatives are tax-free. What our hinihingi or what our needs to strengthen further this tax-free privilege is to make it easier for cooperatives, especially the small ones. Because seemingly, the documentation for micro and small co-ops has been so hard. The details can be probably identified later by CEO, our executive director anyway. So the next thing is that the tax exemption doesn't end at the level of the co-ops only. The tax exemption per Republic Act 9520 extends to the members. So when you deposit in the co-op, your interest on deposits and time deposits shall not be deducted with the 20% withholding tax. When the cooperative earns too, instead of calling net income, we call it net surplus. Because whatever is generated as net surplus is given back to all members through dividends or interest on capital and patronage refund. These things we wanted to be sustained and maintained because there are attempts to remove it. That's why.
Actually, that's a very good question. Kasi ang law natin ay sabi na pre-tax and cooperative. Literally pre-taxation. The problem is, especially with all due respect to the BIR, there are conditions wherein we cannot be free from tax. One example is, if the co-op attains a 10 million reserve, beyond that, we will be taxed. That's the problem. Another one is, we cannot avoid the fact that there are co-ops who will be serving the general public, not only the members. And then here comes again the BIR, taxing transaction of non-members of the co-op. So those are saying, among others, that should be resolved by the government, contrary to the law, that co-ops should be tax-free.
Sir Jim, in addition to the replies and answers of our Board of Trustees, this morning, Committee Briones of the Committee on Cooperatives Development at the House of Representatives manifested that he will support the agenda of the Co-op Chamber, particularly on 3 items. One is that as far as the local government units taxation is concerned, sir, there are only 3. That's 1,000 for mayor's permit, 500 for certificate, and those materials na or things na gagamitin na pagmamayari ng LGU. But there are so many fees right now that are being collected by the local government units that are not in accordance with Republic Act 9520 and not in accordance with the local government code. Henceforth, magkakaroon mo dito ng legislative inquiry in aid of proper implementation of the law. That's number 1. Number 2, I think klaro rin po yung binanggit na in the implementation po ng Certificate of Tax Exemption, there should be very few requirements. At aalisin mo dapat doon yung PIN. Kasi ang transact po ng gobyerno is the cooperative and not the individual. Henceforth, the PIN requirement should be removed in case you apply or renew a Certificate of Tax Exemption that is valid for 5 years. And lastly po, based din po dun sa naging discussion with our champions in Congress and in Senate, alam po ninyo, mainit na usapin po talaga yung taxation. Kasi sinasabi nila, ano ang contribution ng cooperatives sa ating lipunan. You know po, yung pong societal impact ng cooperative when it comes to sa jobs generation, pagpapatapos po ng pag-aaral ng mga anak, doon po sa mga livelihood activities ng mga simpleng miyembro, kagaya ng mga mangingisda, ng mga magsasaka, ng mga vendors at iba pa, yung po mga puhunan nila rito ay nanggagaling po sa kooperatiba. At yung puhunan po ito na nalulong po nila sa mga cooperative ay nagre-rebound po ng mas marami pong economic activities. Not only within their families, but in the communities they are operating. And lastly po, ang kooperatiba po ay mayroon pong direct deduction sa surplus po ng kooperatiba. Ito po yung tinatawag namin Community Development Fund. Ito po yung bumabalik sa mga communities in forms of programs, services, and other things. Pinaliwanag po kanina during pandemic, ang laki po na naging contribution ng cooperative. Very resilient, sabi nga po. Pero at the same time, as I was told by then CDA chair, 2 billion pesos po ang lumabas during the pandemic time na naging contribution po ng kooperatiba. Kaya, bagaman tax exempted po ang kooperatiba, bumabalik po ito yung aming po mga programa at serbisyo sa komunidad at sa ating lipunan. Para po labanan ng kahirapan makatulong po sa economic growth at magkaroon po ng panlipunang hustisya.
Sir, I also noticed na agriculture is mentioned several times. Is this the biggest industry sa cooperative? Or can you also give us a breakdown kung ano yung industries na natin? Okay.
Ang kooperatiba, marami talagang agri, pero marami rin hindi successful sa agri na cooperative. One reason for that is ang capital, kapos sa capital, at saka yung capacity. Ang gobyerno, palagi silang nag-organize ng, may mga organizing sa co-ops. Kasi marami rin mga support sa government, pero hindi siya sustainable. So what we want with the co-op chamber, even though the co-op chamber trustees nag-start ito sa mga credit cooperatives, insurance, na ito yung mga malaking co-ops, because nakikita rin natin na we have to help the government, no, lalo na dito ngayon sa crisis natin sa food security. So, unti-unti, kung ma-strengthen natin ang agriculture sector natin through this cooperative, ang nangyayari kasi dito opposite ngayon because ang regulation natin sa 9520, pinakluster nila para bang ang kooperatiba, ibig mo the federation, gusto nila na mag-focus ka, pag agri ka lang, pag credit ka, pag education ka, pag health, ano ba yun, 6 clusters yun eh, advocacy. Ang tingin natin is, kaya mapifail pa rin ang agriculture dyan because nobody will become a big brother of the cooperative. Mahirap yun. So the cooperative, the federations are getting bigger, and then pag alisin mo sa kanya yung agriculture na side, kasi may mga members siya na agri-cooperatives, lalong mag-fail ang agriculture. So nakikita ko ang programa ni President Marcos natin to help this agriculture sector. Ang isang concern natin doon is limited lang yung lupa na kailangan kasi may agriculture requirement, no? Kaya gusto rin namin i-advocate sa chamber na sa kooperatiba dapat hindi i-limit into maximum of 5 hectares lang. Para naman, economic scale, kung papayagan sa gobyerno na may exemption siya sa DAR, no? Sa Agrarian Reform Law, na kapag ang kooperatiba siya may-ari sa lupa, may check and balance na tayo na dapat gamitin talaga sa agriculture, so para supportaran yun, just like what we are doing with the modernization program sa transport na para bang gusto na nila na corporation or cooperative ang mag-operate sa transport. Kung payagan lang nila ang kooperatiba na mag-own more than that, I think lalaki itong concerns natin sa agriculture, no? Pangalawa, merong sa amendment sa 9520 ngayon, which we attended the third hearing, sinabi pa nga natin doon na papayag tayo na yung foreign investor na cooperative mag-invest sa federation. Pero wag naman natin ma-lose natin yung identity natin as a cooperative na share voting or shareholders vote. Kasi kapag ganun ang sistema, para na rin tayong corporation. Cooperative model is a different model started in 1800s in England because ito talaga ang model na ang may-ari dito, it's not the capital that represents but the members ang may-ari dito. Ito yung negosyo ng mga ordinary people. So if we can connect the dots from the agri, from the marketing, from the yung sa manufacturing, we dream that the cooperative movement in the Philippines will own big businesses, even just like just like the Dole, the Del Monte, the Display that we own. Other countries is like that. Other countries in Europe, they own big corporations. They are mga kooperatiba may-ari. We have the manufacturing, we have the can manufacturing, cooperative ang mag-ari. Dito sa atin, na we are very divided because some of the regulation is also like that. Para takot tayo na maging malalaki ang mga kooperatiba. Then, if that will happen, ito talaga ang chamber na we can connect and communicate to the government. Example, sino bang bitbit sa walang representative ang kooperatiba, pag meron tayong mga foreign investors na magpunta dito sa atin, sasabihin natin, gusto namin mag-invest ng mga ganito. Because cooperatives is limiting by law na mag-invest siya sa mga tawag na tinuhon. Takot rin tayo, no? Pero kung meron namang mission ang president sa ibang country, dapat rin bitbit rin niya ang kooperatiba. Ano yung pwede nating matulong sa national government? If we can connect the assets of the cooperative movement, malaking-malaki siya. Hindi untapped lang siya. Ang nakikita lang sa gobyerno, sa mga tao is cooperatives are tax exempted. Ito lang nakikita nila. Pero beyond that, we are the prime mover also of the economy of the Philippines. Yun, sa GDP, malaki ang natutulong sa products and services sa kooperatiba. So kung gusto natin ma-improve ang economy ng Pilipinas, ito talaga ang cooperative, ang last hope. Because, una, very transparent ang cooperative. Very transparent on our dealings. We have the annual assembly that we present to the General Assembly, the members. Ano yung activities na ginawa? Ano yung negosyo na nagawa in the previous year? At the end naman, magkano yung gastos, magkano yung kita, and we distribute also the surplus to the ordinary people. Ito ang enterprise na dapat nating pagsikapan. Kaya ang COOP Chamber is ready for that. Accepting members, mura lang ang membership natin dito sa we also based on the values and principles sa COOP, open and voluntary. Hindi kami naghihingi ng CETF, naghihingi tayo ng membership fee. Membership fee is only 500 pesos. The membership fee. Because we want to support.
Siguro dagdag kasi karanasan namin sa akong primary cooperative CEO. So plano ko, kami ay bilyonaryong cooperative. Pagdating mo kasi sa credit, matagumpay yung mga co-op. Pero pagdating sa farmers, wala talagang umuusad. So ngayon, yung isang proyekto namin ay pumunta na sa farmers. Diba? Nag-organize kami ng farmers, gusto namin tumulong. Meron kaming sinasaka doon sa Nueva Ecija. Pero dahil may disconnect, sabi nila tax exempt yung co-op. Pagdating po sa implementation kahit barangay, meron kaming harvester sa tuwing dadaan sa bawat barangay, magbibigay ka ng tax. Kaya pala yung mga farmers, hindi na lang magtatanim. Kasi parang sa baba, grabe yung tax na dadaanan mo. So may disconnect. So yan po yung trabaho namin. Trabaho ng chamber, kaya may regional eh. Kasi yung mga specific na problema ng mga primary cooperative, matugunan. Kasi kasama po sa aming adhikain ay yung mga local government, hindi po nila naiintindihan ang cooperative. Ano kami? Meron kami nasa 50 na mga farmers na talagang siniswelduhan. Pero palaging ang sabi nila, gusto namin porsyentuhan. Kasi may may kailangan pong education program sa kanila. Yun po ang papel din ng chamber. Kasi kung aasahan lang namin yung federation, ang federation binibigay kung ano lang yung requirement ng batas. Pero may mga gap na dapat tugunan. So, halimbawa, yung isang sinasabi nila, dapat lahat ng member magkaroon ng team. Yung co-op namin, 48 years na eh. Marami doon senior citizen. Sabi namin, paano sila kukuha ng team? Diba tax exempt na rin sila? So may mga gano'n na kailangan ipaintindi. Kaya sa chamber po, talagang totoong mga cooperative leader ito na sapat ang karanasan para iugnay yung pangangailangan. Kasi kung gusto natin ng pag-unlad, sabi ng gobyerno, katuwang ang cooperative sa pagpapaunlad. Gusto natin yung ipaintindi. Ganito ang katuwang. May mga pangangailangan. Another yung DA project po. Ang laki ng nilaan ng gobyerno na pondo para sa PELMEC at sa mga iba pang mga para tulungan ang magsasaka. Karanasan mo namin yan. Nagtatayo ng association, pag nakuha na yung pondo, wala na. So ako, nangininayan po ako sa pagkakataon na suportahan ng gobyerno kung sa uupo yan ibibigay, mas lalago at accountable. So yun po yung trabaho namin sa chamber. Kaya focus kami talaga sa primary kasi yun po yung gusto nating paunlarin na.
Next question from Ms. Vivian Villanueva of Mindanao Examiner. What sustainable programs do we have in place in order to support the cooperatives across the regions? We can name a few. Sustainable programs po to support the cooperatives across the regions.
Si Secretary siguro. I will not take it.
Well, yung bawat members po ng co-op chamber in the region, very clear po yung kanilang operational plans, no? Particularly in creating services and programs for their members. Now, ang trabaho po ng co-op chamber, paano po magiging sustainable naman yung relationship ng primary cooperative members at ng co-op chamber is that we devise a strategy and an operational plan that wherein ito po mga leaders natin will be packed, including their leadership and resources para po dun sa mga advocacy on the ground. Kasi when we state advocacy po, of course, we will develop position, we will conduct forum, of course, yung resources po would also be coming from our members. And of course, kung paano po mag-create ng conditions wherein yung ease of doing business ng mga primary cooperatives on the ground ay magiging madali is through an advocacy strategy. Meron po kami klarong roadmap na. At dun sa roadmap po ngayon, mabilis ko lang kung sasabihin, na mag-create po kami ng mga networks among other cooperatives. Magde-develop po ng program para sa advancement ng partnership with LGUs. So kung may programa po ang LGU sa kooperatiba, we will partner with them, including resources, including other mechanisms, and also all other government agencies. Pangalawa, of course, we would like to be part ng realization po ng Executive Legislative Agenda. So ito po Executive Legislative Agenda na nasa kit po namin. Ito po mag-resulta ng continuing existence ng co-op chamber. Kasi while merong programa, advokasya ang mga kooperatiba, the co-op chamber will be here 24/7. And lastly, yung pong delegasyon at representasyon po ng mga leaders po namin will not only happen at the regional but also the national level. Eventually po, international. Yun po yung direction niya. So, yung sustainability po nito ay naka-anchor po doon sa lahat po ng mga mekanismo na i-develop namin sa regional and national levels.
I-deepen ko yung practices na natin ngayon. No? Ang kagandahan sa kooperatiba, meron kasi tayong by law, it is required to set up a 3% community development fund. Ito is a mandate. After the deduction of the surplus, meron siyang optional fund, educational fund, and ito yung community development fund. Last April 2022, this year, kasi International Earth Day yun, kasama yun yung tema natin sa Earth versus Plastics. No? So, kung sabihin natin na sustainable program, cooperatives can create a very good impact to community, no? Lalo na dito sa consciousness and awareness of using sustainable materials, using sustainable products, at even though on the conservation of energy. So, nagawa tayo ng clean up drive. Kung magawa natin ito yearly na advocating for environment, no? Like the yung last time kasi clean up drive namin, some in Cagayan de Oro, partnership with LGU. So we gathered around 4,000 plus individual people across the kasama nito yung government, yung church, kasama na ito lahat ng mga stakeholders. Doon kami, naghanap kami ng location. No? If we can do that in next year sa International Earth Day, or even there are every month may mga environmental activities, I think we can create a difference on this. Like segregation of the waste natin, di ba? And then, yun rin sa waste natin na pwede pa natin ma-recycle. Meron namang mga program, mga machines ngayon na hindi pwedeng isang person lang or kasi pwede naman ang cooperative mag-ampun-ampun ng kapital to set up. So maraming mga member of COP Chamber, the founding member is also clients. Meron tayong programa na insurance intended for the community, no? Para sa mga farmers natin. So ito talaga ang tingin natin, no, that can help. And likewise, since cooperative, meron din tayong mga ethical, sustainable practices for investment. Kasi may mga pera, mga co-ops na lalo na sa area sa finance. So, pwede tayong mag-pact together of all the na pag mag-invest tayo, hindi tayo doon mag-invest na against the environment. Diba? I know, magagalit itong iba dito, but clients, the Philippines also is committed on the reduction of the carbon, di ba? Yung emission natin. So, dapat rin tayo kasama rin ang kooperatiba dyan on how we can support that on our enterprises. Even though it's small, but if we gather together ang mga resources, I think, lalo na itong mga community activities natin, we can be sustainable naman sa cooperative chamber ng mga programs.
Very briefly. Just to add as to how are we going to sustain, while I was saying very categorically at the outset that this chamber is not a cooperative, but I would like to believe that we adhere to the 7 universal principles of cooperative. One of which is principle number 2, democratic member control. So when we say democratic member control, this is highlighted by the fact of the participation of the members. For example, in terms of the policies, the rules of engagement, etc., that will not be decided by the board of trustees. As a matter of fact, this afternoon, we are going to present to the assembly the policies, the rules and regulations and others to the members for approval. So we say we can, I think, attain sustainability. The mantra here is participation based on, as I said, the principles of principle number 2 cooperative. Because if you are going to let the people participate in the decision making, then certainly they will feel some degree of ownership. And ownership, I think, will do something in order to sustain your advocacy, the action that you are going to make. It's different when the people are just being dictated by a certain group. I don't think it's going to sustain. But if you allow them to decide, to participate in the decision, then there is a very big chance that you will sustain. No? So I think this is the beauty of the chamber, because we have that kind of mindset. No? As a matter of fact, the rules and the policies that is going to be presented and to be approved by them was actually crafted based on the long months of consultation, because Edwin and the members of some of the members of the board of trustees and the staff had been conducted, consultations all over the Philippines. That's why we said earlier there were already 16 regions in the Philippines that had been consulted, and in fact, many of them already articulated their desire to become part of this.
Or maybe just to summarize our answers, what lies ahead for the Philippine Chamber of Cooperatives? We will broaden, strengthen, and sustain our co-op advocacy, our co-op education, and our co-op networking. We will sustain it, broaden it further, and increase our presence in communities where cooperatives are active. But the more important thing is the end goal of these things that we would like to sustain and broaden up in the next years to come. One would be for the sustenance of co-op protection. We would like that whoever sits in our government will continue to help protect cooperatives, because we're the only resilient and the most accessible financial institution to remote areas in the Philippines. Second is that we will be recognized. Have you ever heard where the contribution of cooperatives have been listed or recognized by any government agencies? We were expecting that we will be included in the last State of the Nation address, because in the third State of the Nation address, we were so glad because co-ops were included, and it indicated the amendments to the cooperative code, where our president was was pushing the Congress to have it approved before the next SONA. But unluckily, it was not heard and it was not stated. And of course, the last would be to also measure the contribution of cooperatives in our 17 sustainable goals. Our chair, Noel, keep mentioning about climate change, and the climate contribution of cooperatives has been very, very big already, but nobody yet has recognized this in terms of manpower, in terms of resources, and even in terms of action. Climbs alone has a very big contribution, but I think there's something missing, and that's recognition. Because once that is recognized, we will be more inspired to do it more. Thank you.
Another question po from Mr. Ted Claudio of What's Up PH. So, we've been talking about yung mga ginagawa ng cooperatives, and as you mentioned, we are hoping that we are given the recognition. So, is spreading awareness regarding cooperatives and the advantages that it gives to the small businesses and even the people a part of the organization's mandate? And if so, what are your programs regarding spreading awareness? And also, does the organization have consultation services to help others start cooperatives? And if yes, how do you get in touch? Who do we get in touch with so that we can do the startup?
Okay po. So, first po, yung pong huling tanong, makikita niyo po yung Co-op Chamber. Meron po siyang FB account at saka website. But in the briefing paper po, we have the numbers po ron where they can contact us with regards to consultations, anything about the cooperative. Kasi mga magagaling po mga managers ang nasa harap po ng ating press con ngayon. very successful chairperson and general managers and CEOs of cooperatives from different sectors. Pangalawa po, ang trabaho talaga ng Co-op Chamber, meron po kaming programa and would like to ask the kind assistance po ng media. Kasi as we all know, yung pong promotion, we can always do the promotion, education, capacity building within the confines of this room. But we would like to reach out, sabi nga po ni Press Alex, we would like to reach out sa communities. So, while organizing on the grassroots po, at doon po kami magbibigay ng mga capacity building, education about cooperatives, I think ang isa pong programa rin namin is to extend and network with media, where we can always send our positions, press statements regarding any issues and concerns on economic issues, particularly if it's cooperative related issue, very regular po yung aming paglalabas ng mga press statement namin. So, yung pong pag-propagate po ng Co-op Chamber, aside po dun sa press releases, sa social media, we are also trying to link up with other media establishments, yung tri-media po, the broadsheet, the print media, and even po yung radio and broadcast, no? So kung sakali po, we would like to reach out with you. Pwede naman po tayong magpalitan din ng balita because karamihan kasi sa business news, usually corporation ang na-feature. So baka maganda ho, it's about time makita rin nila yung cooperative model doon sa mga business news. Kasi there are many stories about cooperative enterprises na very successful in helping po yung mga members nito, particularly sa mga far-flung areas. Kaya po yung aming programa sa susunod po isang taon.
It's a growing, we are still evolving, and I know that later on we'll be able to learn more. You know, we are representing different disciplines. We have managers, media personnel, media practitioner, we have lawyers. So along the way, I'm sure that we'll be able to learn also. But again, as I said, we are motivated by the cooperative principles, universal principles of that. This is principle number 5. This is education, training, and information.
You have been mentioning a while ago about sustainable program of this chamber. One of our Waterloo, in the cooperative sector, because there are billionaires, there are small cooperatives, etc., etc. And please remember that the co-op sector of our country is regulated by one government body. Maybe because we are asking every now and then for tax exemption. However, there are many instances wherein instead of trying to help this co-op to rise from where they start from, the regulative sector, the regulative agency tries to suppress. In other words, they are more of a entity not to help us but to stifle our growth. Now, when you, as a cooperative, ordinary cooperative, when you are a victim of a circular, which you know it's contrapuntal or contrary to the practices and the objectives of 9520, you cannot fight this government entity. So here is now the cooperative chamber who will give the legal assistance and the advice for this cooperative, because if this cooperative will answer directly this regulatory body, you are being marked. And wow, if you are only a medium, what do you call that? Is laboratory body. Now, here comes now the co-op chamber who will give the legal necessary assistance. And of that not logical pronounces or through circulars, regulation of this regulated body. So this chamber, that will be one of the sustainable program of the chamber to help assist this small co-op who cannot fight back because for fear of repression. Thank you very much.
We're down to our last two questions. So, from Mr. Reyes of Business Mirror, what are your plans on AI and digitalization among members of the cooperative?
Okay, magandang question yan. Ang Co-op Chamber will come up also in our website, the analytics of all cooperatives, members or not members of the chamber, so that we will be guided also on what is good and failures also by using data and AI. No? So, ibig sabihin nito, sa ngayon kasi, when you talk about members of the cooperative, iba-ibang failures. Di ba? O when you talk about how many members ba ang cooperative registered, sabi doon sa website sa CPA, 18,800. When we talk to other sa NEDA naman o sa other agencies which has the data also, iba naman ang sinasabi nila. Pag sinasabi natin, ilan ba dito ang credit cooperatives? Ano ba yung trend ng business ngayon? Using data science, I think the Co-op Chamber can come up with the data. May challenge lang kami ngayon kasi we are asking CDA of the data. Pero siguro we can touch ako lang dyan, hindi pa siya nagbigay sa amin, no? Kasi we want to put that in our website para other organizations, mga suppliers, can do business, and even the young people, kasi may tanong din dito sa young people eh. Sa totoo lang, I am with you, Sir Chito, no, na yung nakikita lang sa cooperative are those who are 50 years old and up. But when you look into the statistics that we are into a SPAT generation with an average of 25 years old. Saan ba dito ang mga young people, no, sa kooperatiba? Ito ang hindi nakakount because some of them are not borrowers, some of them are depositors. Pero may kulang pa tayo. And ano yung kulang natin is how we can invite the young people to join the cooperative. Ang image kasi ng co-op for so long is nandoon lang sa loans. Yung mama natin, magpamiyembro ng cooperative para maka-loan, para sa education, maka-loan para sa multi-purpose loan sa bahay. Pero sa ngayon ng generation, the generation of the Z, lalo na itong the next generation is very critical also na they can become cooperative so that they will learn also what is financial literacy, saan sila makaipon. Sabi pa natin dati, ang pag-asa ng bayan is through the savings, no? Pero kaya lang, medyo we are very tempted on buying which we don't need. So, co-ops, values and principles, itong values ng kooperatiba na hindi ito na internalize. Ito yung tinatawag natin na self-help, tulungan natin ang sarili natin, self-responsibility, ito yung tayo ang responsible sa atin, at saka meron rin tayong stake, dapat equity. So, if that values and principles sa mga programs, ito yung standardize natin sa programa sa Co-op Chamber. Para naman lahat ng mga co-ops during PMES, the Pre-Membership Institutional Training Program, which is required by law na lahat ng mga members bago makapasok, meron tayong standard na ma-internalize nila. Na ang kooperatiba hindi law lang. Kooperatiba is how to develop yourself, how to become sustainable, how to save, how to plan your future. Yun ang gusto rin nating makamit. But we need media na sa friends natin na to feature also the brighter side of the cooperative movement.
Thank you very much po. That wraps up our question and answer. So we would like to thank the members of the media for sending in their questions and also our panel of speakers. Thank you po. And may request lang po ang media na mag-picture taking po tayo para sa paglabas ng mga stories nila.